Geo Fluid. You can't watch Twitch anymore. How come? Okay, well, thanks for popping by. Sorry you can't watch Twitch anymore. Cheers, dude. Okay, dude, no problem. Hey, welcome back, Fluid. Sorry, dude. I am trying to fix my my chat box right now. For some reason, it is not working on my other display here. But today the goal is to basically kind of finish this sculpt up. Yeah, that's the goal today. So. Hey, Keelix, how's it going, dude? Oh, don't worry, Fluid. I wasn't streaming the last couple of days. I had to make some adjustments to my streaming schedule because just to get adjustments. So I figured, you know, my goal is to get actually on the weekends. It's just I didn't anticipate this weekend being as busy as it was. So I'm effectively changing my schedule so that I will be streaming on weekends. From my time is going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. typically. I just didn't expect this weekend. So starting next weekend, I'll be streaming from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. So I don't know what time exactly that translates to you guys, but it's earlier. So I don't know if that's helpful for you guys. But yeah, because I'm going to be going back to work at some point in the next couple months. So I just want to make sure that I get my schedule set up so that I can keep streaming and there's minimal disruption to anything that I'm doing in terms of like my online presence. Can I be a moderator, please? Let me take a look at what's going. I don't really need moderation right now because it's just basically YouTube. There's 2 people. But yeah, let me take a look at what's involved. Let me take a look at what's involved and see what's Because if you're gonna do it, then you're gonna have to be available anytime I stream, right? So, and I don't have any way to pay. I don't have any way to compensate anybody that's gonna help me out with the stream right now. So, let me take a look at what needs to be done. Kilix, I am working on the sculpt for the ninja for my short film. A couple things I still need to finish up. Obviously, I got to finish up the sculpting aspect of this, and then I'm going to do a retopology. But today, the goal today is just to get everything properly connected up. So the forearm, the hands, the fingers, the feet. And then I'm going to make some adjustments to the rest of the components here, just because the legs are looking a little bit twiggy. Right? They look a little bit weak. I mean, they're going to be covered in clothes, but, you know, I want to practice. I got to keep practicing the sculpting the anatomy, because I'm always going to need it. So it's important for me to do it, even though you guys aren't necessarily going to see it. Fluid, thanks for the offer. Let me take a look at everything that's going to be necessary, because you know, as a mod, we need to figure out what the schedule is going to look like, because if you're going to mod, then I need somebody to mod all the time, right? So, but for now, because there's not many people, it's just me and basically you two right now. Sure, but again, it's a responsibility, right? Yes, but it's more than just cool, Fluid. It's also a responsibility that you have to take seriously. Yep, like I said, I just need to take a look into what's involved, what everything is. I'm still fairly new to Twitch and streaming and stuff like that, so I just want to take a look at what's involved, because it is effectively a job, and it is not fair to ask you to do something where I can't compensate you for it in any way, shape, size, or form, as well as it's a responsibility that I need to consider myself first before I hand that responsibility off to somebody else, because it is, after all, my channel, right? So once I've got all the pieces all the pieces connected, I will then start putting clothes on him. The only reason he's still somewhat kind of naked is because it's just easier to visualize everything without the clothes, so you can see the muscle forms and how those muscle structures will affect the how the clothes fit onto his body, right? So yeah, you probably hear police. I live in a city. What's up, Gilix? At least make his skin black or yellow or orange. I don't know. No, not right now. I like the color right now just because it's about seeing the shadows, how the light and the shadow work against each other in the sculpt and how it creates the forms, right? So I want darker spots like this, and I don't want any colors that are going to potentially confuse that for me. So yep, Gringo is free to explore my condo all he likes. Now he's just napping. He just decided to drop on the floor and take a nap. So. Yes, technically it is his house. That is the proper frame for it. He lives here just as much as I do, and he has every right to it as much as I do. So Keelix, buddy, have you been doing any more new animations? Hopefully the new stream time will be able to accommodate your schedule or your time zone a little bit better. It's less streaming, but hopefully I can make some videos and stuff like that. I was taking one of your suggestions about doing an introduction to Blender. Yeah. So I think it's one of the videos I have kind of in the works that I'm cooking right now. When will you take a break from streaming? I'm just curious. What do you mean, like a short break, or are you talking about like a long break, or like a 10-minute break, or like a month break? What is that what you're referring to? What are you referring to? Like when I just need to go stretch my legs or something? Oh, no, I won't. The whole point for me switching my stream schedule to the weekends is so I don't have to take a break. Right? So I don't have to stop. Right? The reason I want to switch to the weekends is because that's when I don't have to work, right? You know what I mean? So during the week, things become unpredictable, especially when you work in film and stuff like that. It's time, like sometimes we needed to do overtime. And things have a tendency to be very disruptive during the week. So I figured, okay, if I do it on the weekends, I did totally screw it up this weekend because I didn't expect it. I forgot I had some things that I had to take care of this weekend. I had a family dinner or a family lunch that I had to do. So I just forgot I had to do stuff this weekend. So it was a bad weekend to make the switch, but nevertheless, I'm kind of committed now. So, but yeah, the idea is to not have to take any breaks. Yeah, I was hoping that when switching the time also because I've had a lot of people from Europe pop by, so I figured, you know, I didn't want to abandon them, and I figured it might be a better time. Um, right now, I'm kind of balancing both. I'm doing both at the same time, so I'm multi-streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. And then I'm going to be adding some more structured videos. You know, I was thinking of doing like tutorials or something like that for people who are interested in learning Blender. Because if you're, I know you got your 3D printer. By the way, did you print anything yet? And number two, Blender is a great way to make 3D models for your 3D printer. Yes, it's very quiet. I don't keep the music very loud. I don't want it to be overbearing. Yep, I'll eventually get to the elbows. I know they're they're still very blocky. You found me on nobody.live. What is that? I'm a nobody. Sounds about right. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to fix the back. I really don't like the shapes of the back, so I want to get these things up. Ah, a site for finding no viewers on Twitch streams. Oh, right. That's right. You said you like to find people who have low viewers and support them. Well, I appreciate it, dude. No problem, Fluid. I'll see you when you get back. Yeah, those are the strokes that I've used. I'm just trying to build out the shapes a little bit more. I'm trying to find some good back anatomy reference right now to just build out the shapes because I don't like the way these shapes are kind of clumping together. That looks very mechanical. I don't know. It's like the shapes in the front feel more locked in. They feel like more connected together, like the human body should feel like. And they have you have a website for what? Because I have a ton of reference for anatomy. I even have like a doll here. Yeah, yeah. It's a technique I use to help kind of follow the muscle directions so that you can see how the directionality of the muscles, how the muscles converge and work fluid. He'll get clothes when I'm ready to put clothes on him, bud. When I fix everything else, dude, everything's got to work in time, right? It's yeah, I know it's you want to see things move quickly, but you know, I'm not that fast of a sculptor, and art takes time. Hey, Samantha. How's it going? I am doing well. I am trying to adjust to a new stream schedule, and I completely botched it. But I am here. I made it today. I completely underestimated how busy my weekend was, and I decided last weekend, I was like, okay, I'm going to start switching my stream to weekends. And I chose the worst weekend to switch to do that. But I figured I'd come on today regardless. I was going to jump on the stream today regardless of what my schedule looked like this morning. But yeah. So hopefully my adjustment will be more conducive to everyone, because it'll be a little bit earlier on weekends, exclusively on the weekends for the time being. Yes. One of those, yeah, just miscalculated, that's all. I just picked a bad weekend to make the transition, but hopefully we'll be at a normal pace by next weekend. So yeah, I'm hoping to be a little bit more freeform with it so that you guys aren't just looking at the game all the time. I don't want to be streaming every single day, just showing off game work. Playing Warframe today and got the quest that an animator I met worked on. Nice. Don't know too much about Warframe. I guess the animator worked on the cutscenes? Oh, for sure. I do get I do occasionally, I watch, like, we'll get early screenings of the stuff occasionally of the work that I've worked on. And it is, I think it's more, it's depending on the shot that I get. Sometimes it can be really satisfying when, you know, if you animated a gag, like it's a joke in the show, and it lands well, that can be immensely satisfying. I mean, I typically don't watch too much of the stuff I work on, but you know, I think the most satisfying part is when we know people are enjoying what we're doing. How's your Guess those illustrated pieces, how are those ones going? Are you still working on those? Piece you had with the soldier holding the gun and you had effects going on it. It was looking pretty cool. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Like you couldn't think of like what to fill out the backgrounds or worried about the future. Huh. Couldn't think of any scene to put her in. I mean, you could kind of just do like a collage background, right? You give it some measure of perspective, but kind of just throw in, I don't know, like a brick wall or like a concrete wall or something. Just maybe some sort of urban landscape. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is pretty tough to. Yeah, you don't want to I guess don't force it out, but I don't know. I guess I always like to just try. So what I'll do is I'll just because you already have your rendering it as transparency. The background is a transparency background. I would with that point I would just probably just bring it into Photoshop or Krita or something like that, and just mock. Just throw in a bunch of different backgrounds, so you're not rendering anything and spending too much time. Just see what if there's anything that starts to work. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time you try it. It's just see if there's any kind of combination of a landscape or urban setting or something like that that might start to feel like it fits nicely, right? Sculpting is coming along slowly. It's still a skill that I am very much practicing, which is why I'm spending so much time on the underside of the body, because for me, this is partially practice right now. So, but the back shape is looking a little bit better now. It feels like a little bit more in line with the front. The pieces are starting to kind of connect a little bit better. Before, they didn't feel none of the pieces felt connected, and it was really bugging me. So. Yes, and Fluid Funkin is very impatient about the arms. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to suffer through it. All right, I'm gonna take a short break and make a tea. I will be right back. Fluid. I was just making some tea, bud. Samantha, you're preaching to the choir, dude. My sleep schedule is awful. Yeah, I find, yes, you're absolutely right. I have a similar kind of thing when I sleep too long or I sleep too late, especially because I'm not at work right now, so my schedule is pretty free form. Um, I have been making an effort the last couple of months to just get up early, just so I'm not like getting like in a situation where I'm just getting too used to working late or being up late and getting crappy sleep. It's easy to fall into a bad rhythm when there's no expectations right now, so I have to be careful. So the last couple of weeks have been, hence it's like part of my effort right now. Ooh, I really don't like that. It's part of my effort right now just to get all my entire schedule kind of working out, which is part of the reason I changed my streaming schedule. Fluid, we're talking about getting good sleep and the importance of getting good sleep. And how having a bad sleep schedule affects your mood dramatically if you're not sleeping properly. Yes, when you're younger, it's because your parents are kind of like gonna kick your butt and they're gonna set up a bedtime for you. But as you get a little bit older, you're gonna find it's important to try to keep that schedule because sleep is very, very important. It's like the reset button. And if you don't reset properly, then you're going to feel crappy the next day. Yeah, for sure. Definitely keep that schedule up. I can't remember what it's, yes, it's not good to not sleep. You do not want to, no, I think I remember in college, I think that's pretty much where I got my bad sleeping habits, is because, in college, I was working a job, I was doing classes, I was working a job. So the best time for me to work was in the evenings, just because that was the time I had available to work a part-time job. So I'd work, but then you have class that gets distributed along like 12 hours throughout the day, right? So I would end up staying up really, really late to work on assignments and, obviously a social life that was not conducive for me to keeping good hours. So yeah, it's after a couple of days of sleep deprivation, you actually start to lose your mind. You start to hallucinate and start to see things. You're gonna start to feel sick way before that. It's only if you're able to push through that you're gonna actually feel like you're actually going crazy. Most of the time you'll just feel sick and just want to go to bed, and you'll just fall asleep. But there was a couple of times where I had to kind of push through that because I had assignments due, plus I had to work, and it became it started to become a habit of mine to kind of work that way, and that is not a good habit to get into. It's a terrible habit to get into. Yeah, I've messed up my sleep stuff so bad. I can't even drink coffee anymore. I don't even touch the stuff anymore. That's why I've switched entirely to tea. There's like fruit teas too. Nothing crazy, or chamomiles or something with very, very little to no caffeine in it, because my body just is so sensitive to it now that if I even have a sip of coffee in the evening, it'll postpone my ability to fall asleep by hours. Yes, it's 4:30 p.m. for me as well, too. Oh yeah, I've heard some stuff like that. I mean, way back in the day, we would always hear about the old, I guess it's an urban myth. I don't know what you classify it as, and I'm sure it's genuinely happened, so it's not really a myth. But when World of Warcraft was in its prime, like at the height of its popularity, there were stories about kids or young adults. I wouldn't say kids. That would be playing these games for such an extended period of time that they would become malnutrition. And I think there was one case where a kid actually passed away because he was, I guess he forgot to eat, forgot to sleep, forgot to do all the basic life function stuff, and he got really sick. Oh, I'm sure you can look it up on Google. Kid who passed away playing World of Warcraft. It was a pretty popular story at the time. This is back in 2000, probably 2006, 2007, around there. You still bugging about the elbow, huh? The reason I haven't gotten to the elbow, dude, is because these are the extremities, right? So if the inside's not working, this is not going to work properly, right? So I got to make sure the proportions are right. So if in case I need to make any final adjustments before I commit to it, I mean, obviously I can continue tweaking it, but it just becomes harder and harder the further down I get, right? So right now, the reason I'm holding off on it is because I need to make sure the proportions are working properly before I lock in all and that is a matter of locking in all the proportions. They're close right now. I don't feel like there's any issues, but I am having a buttoning a little bit here because the elbow feels a little bit high, right? The forearm feels a little bit long, and the bicep and the tricep area, the upper arm area, feels a little bit short. So I want to make sure that I've solidified where the rib cage is actually going to land here. So the rib cage is this area right here, and typically the bottom of the elbow joint is going to sit right where the bottom of your rib cage is, right in between your hip. You can feel the bone for your pelvis, right, and your rib cage, and your elbow kind of lands in between those two pieces. So the elbow should land. So if I put my arms together, the elbow should land somewhere around here, right? And you can see if I draw that arc right now, I'm still a little bit above it. That's why I'm like, okay, let's make some adjustments there. Because yes, if you rush it, because I'm still in the practice kind of stages, I'm still practicing my sculpting. It's important for me to work relatively slowly and think, right? And not just start smashing pieces together because that's a recipe for a bad sculpt. It's going to turn out bad, right? So while I understand your desire to want to see the thing, sometimes you just got to pump the brakes a little bit and make sure you've studied everything you want to study accurately before you commit to the next thing. Only because, you know, I do end up wanting to use this in production, and silly proportional mistakes is the telltale sign of somebody who wasn't thinking about their work. Right? Putting your mind behind something sometimes just means you got to slow down, make sure you've done all the proper measurements, make sure everything looks the way you want it to look, and it follows the design path that you've set forward. But yeah. Right? So this is feeling a little bit better now. See, just small adjustments in proportions starts to make things feel a little bit better, or at least for my eyes, it immediately kind of just starts to like, oh, that works a little bit better. But I get what you're buttoning on, just because it's like, oh, it feels incomplete. But yes, sometimes things just need to be left incomplete. Fluid Funkin', you gotta have to give me some information. What's the site about? What's the... You're all over the place. Well, you could post it. If anybody's interested, they can take a look. Oh, no, 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 no. I definitely do not use image generation for reference. I will never, ever use AI generated images as reference, just because I don't know if it's accurate, right? Especially when it comes to anatomical study and understanding where bones and all that stuff. I'm sure it's probably fine. It's just that why would I use an AI image when I have, like, I literally have a whole maquette of a skeleton standing next to me. I have tons of references of images of anatomy, right? So that's not something I need to generate for AI to assist me in. Yeah, it's not like I don't use any AI generative AI. It's just I don't use it for art, to make art. Sorry, I should correct that. I don't use it to inform my own art. I use it to generate some art images, like my channel logo, stuff like that. Things that I have never been trained in or have the discipline into to it's just there's so many things that you got to learn to brand a channel and stuff like that. So these are smaller areas that I'm more willing to allow AI to do that work. But when it comes to 3D sculpting and 3D assets and this kind of stuff, I like to do the work, right? So I like to make sure to get good reference and make sure that the reference is accurate. And I have seen some stuff that AI produces in terms of generating like anatomical understanding, and it just doesn't understand it. Right. If it's educating itself off the images it's scraping off the internet, then why not just use the images that it's scraping off the internet? At least that's my take on it. So, but occasionally I do use AI for some things. So I'm not principally against AI. I don't use it for I guess studying anatomy in this case. Yeah, so that feels better. Chatbot. Sure, I'll check it out. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds for artificial intelligence. As far as I can tell right now, like it's not at the level everybody hopes it to be. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong. It's a cool, fun way. I just wouldn't rely on it for anything of real importance. I would not rely on it. But if you're just screwing around, yeah, I totally have fun with it. But yes, it should not be a replacement for actual knowledge. But I'm sure you have parents that have already expressed this concern to you that AI is a tool. It should be used as a tool and not as any sort of authority on anything. Yeah, it's fine. I think what Samantha is talking specifically about is using this as kind of like your guidepost. This is, that you're using AI as some sort of authority to dictate good information and bad information, right? So, and it's not there, right? It's not definitely not what you should be using it for. But if you're young and it's a new piece of technology, it's exciting. There's a ton of things you can do with it. It's incredibly powerful. I mean, and certainly if I was, a younger, in public school or still in elementary school, and this burgeoning technology, it would be for somebody that was like me, this would be irresistible to play with, right? So I get it. But I think the warning is just like, this has no authority over anything, right? It's just nothing more than a tool to be used by us. And this is unfortunately not a warning that even these large companies are adhering to. So it's difficult to say, hey, you shouldn't do this when these big companies are doing it. But the reality is it's not where we need it to be yet so that we can fully rely on this kind of technology for anything other than gathering some information and putting it into and kind of giving us information. Again, it's not a dispenser of truth. It's not the dispenser of fact-based answers, right? It is just a quick way to consolidate all of the information that we have access to the most current version. And even then, it's still not that successful at that, right? I've been using AI to help me program in Unreal, and it's been wildly useful. Like it's been super useful, while at the same time it's incredibly. I feel like it's gaslighting me sometimes, right? So, yeah, totally. If it's just for a project and it's just for fun, I get it. That's what you should be, how you should be using it. We shouldn't be looking at it as a tool to dispense any sort of answers. Yeah, Fluid, you should totally have fun with it, dude. I think it's important that you guys get an understanding of AI, because it's coming. It's here. It's inevitable. So understanding the tool is one step towards getting ahead of the curve, right? So getting to a position that people who are just going to use it for silly things, you'll be ahead of them if you know it. No. What? Yeah, Samantha, I mean, the bubble really, all it means is that all the power just gets consolidated. That's basically what happens when a bubble pops, right? Is that all the small players get eaten up by the biggest players, and basically one company basically makes one or a handful of companies basically then make the decision at that point, make all the decisions about it, right? So it was the same thing that happened during the .com boom. So right at the end of the 90s, but the mid 90s, we had the .com booms, right? So, and then the players that emerged out of that were basically was pretty much Google. You know, a small handful of other ones, but the biggest winner that came up, well, Amazon, I guess, at the end of the whole thing. But yeah, it's basically what happens is it becomes the bubble is that there's a lot of competitors. You have just an absorbent amount of competitors, too many competitors. And then one starts to do really, really well and does better and better and better and better. And then they start buying up all the smaller guys until there's nobody left except the big one. And that would be the effect of the bubble popping as the one company takes over. So it's good and bad. It can be good and bad when a bubble pops. It's good because it all the speculation around the product, all the theories and the ideas around it. This is not to say all the ideas have come out, but most of the idea, it's settled now as to what we're gonna do with this technology, what the major thing we're gonna do with this technology is, right? And Facebook, all these things kind of emerged out of that .com boom, but there's not a whole lot of Facebooks. There's one Facebook, one Instagram. And again, that .com, the secondary boom that happened was all the social media stuff. And what ends up happening, Facebook ends up buying WhatsApp, Instagram. So everything now is Facebook. Will I remember you if I become famous? Of course. You guys were the first people that came and supported my channel. There's no way I'd ever forget you guys. This is why when my biggest concern when changing schedules was losing you guys, because you guys wouldn't be able to make it because of the time zone or something like that. So yeah, it was a big concern for me. So there's no way I would forget you guys. Okay, Fluid, are you ready? I'm going to combine the elbows and the forearm now. Hands are going to leave a little bit longer, but I am going to connect this. Control J. And I'm going to connect that back up. And I screwed up. Okay, now I'm going to connect it back. And we are going to run a remesh. Yeah, I think the main reason people dislike AI is, Samantha, is largely what you're describing. Is they're eating up all the resources right now, right? There's all the RAM, all the chips, all the diodes, all these semiconductors, all these things, all the hardware is being bought up by AI, and all tech, basically all tech advancement is being plunged. All the money we're putting into tech advancement is behind AI and the push to drive AI. And so, yes, people are a little bit irritated by the approach of all of this because it seems to have forgotten of the basic consumer market. Because if you can guarantee the sale of a million chips, versus saying you're going to put those million chips on the consumer market, and they may or may not sell, right? You're going to sell to the people you're going to guarantee a sale from, right? Yes, that sucks for us. It royally sucks for us because now we're paying, as a Canadian, it's not unreasonable for me to have been paying what, $400 for what, $400 or $500 for 64 gigs of RAM. Now I'm paying probably close to $1,200 for that. Yeah, Sam Altman gives me the heebie-jeebies as well. I don't know if it's just because, really, really smart people are just kind of off-putting sometimes. Kind of like Elon Musk. That guy gives me the heebie-jeebies sometimes, albeit a genius. I'm not taking anything away from their ingenuity. It's just that the dude gives me the heebie-jeebies sometimes. He kind of creeps me out. Both of them, all right? Like, because they're both... they're really, really smart people, and I don't think they're completely socially acclimated to everything, and this comes out in their personalities. Are they evil? I don't know. Evil is a very strong word. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but their personalities certainly lend to me being suspicious. Let's put it like that. Well, regardless of how you want to, whatever perspective you want to put on, the guy's a bit of a weirdo, right? Like, I think people who have these weird or have a gift, an exceptional gift, right? Be it whether it was Michael Jackson or Amadeus Mozart, there's something that comes along with it. It comes at a cost. And I think for a lot of them, it comes at a social cost. Samantha, you're absolutely right. I think in the modern day, it all depends on what you define as rich. Right? Like mega rich. I mean, a billionaire, yes, you're going to have to compromise morally. There's just no two ways about it. Like, if you want to make billions of dollars, you're going to be doing things that are probably not, that are going to affect a group of people negatively one way or another, whether it's job loss or like if you're a pharmaceutical company or something like that. There is a moral quandary that I think all people have to wrestle with when they're in the business world, and unfortunately, not everybody acts with proper morals. I guess with a north-facing compass. Let's just say that. I think you can reach even 50 million plus. Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right. Well, at the same time, I don't think you're entirely right. I think there are people like, it's the question, well, do you want $50 million, and what are you going to do with that $50 million? Because I don't need $50 million to live my life very comfortably, right? Like, it's one of those things. It's like, there's a reason you're aiming for the 50 million, right? I think you have to square that off with yourself. Why is it that you want that 50 million, right? Because people who are going to get that kind of money typically are business people who are going to probably end up reinvesting that money into another business or hopefully a little bit of philanthropy or something like that. But I think people who have access and deal in that kind of money, it's because they're basically starting businesses and selling businesses and dissolving businesses. This is not like them trying to just say, oh, I want that much money so I can put it in my bank account and buy tons of cool things. Certainly there are, like, musicians and athletes and that, but I don't think the way they've earned their money is particularly corrupt. That's where I'm like, well, it's kind of true, but at the same time, I don't think it's entirely true, right? Like, sometimes, like, you think of an athlete, right? An athlete, like some of the athletes in North America, like certainly everywhere in the world, but athletes, they make quite a bit of money. Making their contracts, or like an NBA contract, you'll see they go for like 6 or 7 years, and they're making $120-130 million, right? So, is that particular player doing anything corrupt? Probably not. Is the organization doing something corrupt? Probably. Probably. Yeah. Right. Like, I think wealth it's a question of how we're going to define what wealthy is. Having a couple $1 million in the bank, it's really good, but it's not the same, with inflation, the economics of everything. Having $1 million today is not the same as having $1 million back in the 90s. And having $1 million in the 90s wasn't the same as having $1 million in the 60s. And then, you drop another 20 years, and you'll see an exponential difference between what $1 million is actually worth. And $1 million, think about what I'm going to buy with $1 million. If I had $1 million right now, right, let's say I go buy a condo. Okay, I buy a condo, or you can't buy a house with $1 million. So let's say I buy a condo. That's $750,000, right? That leaves me $250,000 left, right? But now I'm paying property tax on the condo and maintenance. So chances are that entire $250,000 that I have left over after I bought a $750,000 combo is probably going to go, a good chunk of that is going to go towards just maintenance and but last year we had a major flood in my building, and the entire building got assessed with a $2.8 million assessment, which I don't have to pay for that, but because I own a portion of the building, I'm responsible for a portion of that as well too, right? And then you consider food, all of your other little costs, and you're pretty much out of money. You have a home, but you cannot quit your job on $1 million, right? So it's one of those things. Fluid, I choose both. That's what the stream is for, is so that if you guys want to just see me do work, then I'm going to post the videos and you guys can just watch the work happen. Versus when I'm streaming, I like to talk to Samantha because I think the stuff she talks about is very engaging. And I have opinions on it. Yeah, no, Samantha, yeah, you can't buy a house here you could probably buy a house for $1 million, but it's not going to be in a very desirable neighborhood, right? Like the other factors when you make a purchase like a house, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you can buy a cheap house, but okay, I could buy a house for less than $1 million. I certainly can in Canada. Okay. But that means if I want a decent place, that means I'm going to be outside of the city. And it's not just a little bit outside of the city. We're talking probably at least an hour and a half away from a city, right? So now you're dealing with rural things. Okay, well, now that you're in a rural area, well, now everything's actually a little bit more expensive because the volume of shipments that area is going to get is reduced because it doesn't have to serve as many people. So now your cost of living is going to go up, but the cost of your house has gone down, right? So it's this frustrating balance of the economics of the situation. And then you're going to say, well, if I have to go in to do a job, I have to work inside of a city. Okay, now my commute is going to be an hour and a half to get into the city to do my job. So that's 3 hours there and back every single day. So what's worth it to you? A smaller place, but you save 3 hours every day, or a bigger place, a more comfortable place and a nicer place, but you have to spend an hour and a half to commute to get to work, right? It's always a trade-off. Yes, I guess, I mean, the question is, you know, most of us are probably not going to end up being rich. So the question, you have to make that choice, right? And for me, I would rather have a smaller place, you know, and live inside the city and be closer to the work for the time being. You know, things are changing so that we can, you know, my last jobs, I haven't had to go into work. So the potential for me to move away from the city and save a little bit of money because I don't have to commute uh, is a possibility. Sam, you're pretty much echoing my thoughts exactly. I'm not a big city kind of person. I grew up in a suburb. I like the suburbs. I like the peace and quiet. You know, whenever I visit my parents, I kind of what? Oh, right. I really miss kind of like the peace and quiet of just suburbia. While at the same time, when I was young, you know, cities are exciting. It's all these the hustle and bustle, the excitement of being in a city, the atmosphere, but the novelty for me wore very quickly, and I got bored of it very quickly. So now I'm just kind of stuck in a city because this is where work is, right? But if things change and I can do my job outside of the city and have that not affected my ability to do that job, then I would probably start looking for places away from the city. But as of right now, the film business kind of thrives inside the city, so I don't really have a choice as to where I can be right now. Unless, you know, like Fluid says, I get famous one day and I can dictate those terms. But that's not a plan. That's a hope. I doubt you get famous to do PG animation. Well, I mean, Disney does mostly PG animation, right? So I personally don't like I want more adult-oriented animation. I think I think Westerners, actually, I should correct myself. I think Western audience is ready for more mature animation because it's existed in Japan and Korea and China for a long time now. They've always recognized this as a legitimate kind of way to tell mature stories. And I think the North American, I keep saying, like the Western audience is ready for more mature storytelling in animation. It's just a question of somebody willing to take the risk, because Western filmmaking is this, where you get money and art kind of overlap. You're gonna get a lot of hostility between the two parties, right? Because one party wants to make money, one party wants to make art. So there's always a compromise on both sides. But the reason I think there has not been a lot of, there's been more lately. There's been a lot more like adult-oriented animation for like the Netflix audience. Certainly, like Blue Eye Samurai is a great example of that. The entire Castlevania series. I'm reluctant to say Attack on Titan because it's Japanese, right? Like, and Japanese have already been doing that. So yeah, I think the audience is ready. I think the Western audience is ready for it. It just needs somebody to actually spearhead that movement. And I think I'm going to do that in my own little small way on my own little corner of the internet with my own little project called Samurai Baby, right? It still holds some of the cartoonish quality of Disney. Certainly, I want to kind of utilize that style of animation for what I do. So yes, how's it going, dude? Things are going well today. Just doing some sculpting. Yes, I've switched my streams CS to the weekends, and I want them to be a little bit more freeform in spite of the fact that I'm working on a short, which I've done before. But yeah, eventually I'm going to be working on a little more freeform projects. I thought of a fun little like wheel or something like that I can do. So each weekend I want to be able to finish an entire project. Well, not each weekend, but if I have little projects planned that I can finish in a weekend, that I would like to work on stream. So it's not game related or anything like that. It's just, fun art related stuff, just to have some fun and engage with people who come to stream. Nothing too serious. I didn't think I was gonna get to work too much this weekend, which is why I didn't necessarily plan exactly what I wanted to do today, which is why we're working on the Ninja again. But yes, I have stuff planned coming for the weekends. Fluid, I'm gonna have to torture you on this one and make you wait for the fingers a little bit, because I'm gonna start connecting everything else. I need to make sure this arm anatomy is not very good right now, so I want to fix that before I go and start connecting the fingers. So you're gonna have to suffer until I'm ready to do the fingers. VC. What's VC? Oh, nice. Yes, Media. You should link up with Fluid here. You just bought a 3D printer as well. What are you printing? What are you working on with your print? A voice call. Ah, that's interesting. I have not considered that. Is that where you guys jump into and are able to talk through the Discord channel? Is that what you're referring to? Whoops. Yeah, I haven't considered that. I just figured, you know, if there's a lot of chattering, a lot of chatter, it would get really, really busy inside there, and would be able to decipher what everybody's saying. Yeah, Samantha, I'll definitely consider that sometime. Maybe more of just a casual kind of like hangout stream and do like a voice chat thing. I was in the beach at night and I still feel like I'm in it. You're at the beach. Lucky you. Did you take a shower when you get home? I usually find that when I get home from the beach, I have to take a shower in order to wash the beach off of me. It's just the sand gets everywhere. Everywhere. I'm printing a custom cell phone mount for the dashboard of a 1970 BMW 202. Huh. Nice. Yeah, I've thought about buying a 3D printer for just some screw around purposes and building things like coat hangers and wall mount stuff and just some really, really simple things. I just think it's such a cool little. I just, the only problem is this is like when am I going to do this? When are you going to have time to do this? Right? Like, oh, so you want to make a video game, do 3D printer, make YouTube videos, live stream, play hockey on the weekends, race motorcycles, work a full-time job, raise a dog. Like, okay, something's gotta I give here. So unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck just making the three. But maybe what I can do is send you some stuff and you can print it, right? If you're want to test your printer out. I'm hoping I can share some of that work that I'm going to do eventually, and it would be kind of cool to see what it looked like 3D printed. Yes, sand does get everywhere and it's uncomfortable. Too many hobbies, not enough time to do them all. My niece and nephew, their grandmother, my mother, bought them a 3D printer that they haven't set up yet, like last year. I think they've been waiting for me to go and set it up, or waiting for my little brother my younger brother to go and set it up. But they should just do it. I wish they would just do it. But yeah. But they're very busy kids too, just in between dance and baseball and school and other activities. They don't seem to be able to find the time to play with that either. I think it's just a matter of like genuinely being interested into it. I think it's really, really cool, and I would be genuinely interested. I wish I had more time. Oh yeah, dude, like I imagine 3D printing is awesome for prototyping parts and just checking against before, like, even if you have to get them properly machined to have a prototype printed out in plastic already, it must be completely invaluable. Like it's got to be one of the coolest things to be able to manufacture your own parts now. Even like again, even if you're just manufacturing it so that you can give it to like a machinist to actually machine the parts, like out of metal or something. Yeah, Samantha, you should be spending those 8 hours, but as clearly you and I have discussed, we are not spending those 8 hours sleeping. To our detriment, of course. I certainly don't recommend this to anybody to not get your 8 hours. I'm calling you out. I'm saying it's I'm culpable of this too. So yeah, see fluid. You can't see the pieces, or you can't see the whole maquette, but I have all this little maquette, right? That has a maquette. It's a statue that has a breakdown of all of the different muscles and all the different components of the body, right down to the skeleton. And I can pull the pieces off, and you can basically see what that looks like, right? So this is the left arm, right? And you can see the triceps here, the biceps, right? The elbow, the forearms, and how those muscles kind of come together and insert and socket into the bones. Yeah. Fluid, I think we're in the same time zone, dude. It is 5:20 right now. Yes, 11:22. That's good. I'm hoping to get on a little bit earlier, Samantha, so that the weekends are a little bit earlier for everybody. I know you're a bit of a night owl, but maybe this will help everybody keep a good sleep schedule, right? Certainly, it's going to help me keep a better sleep schedule, because if I'm expected to be ready and going at 10 in the morning, then it's going to be important for me to get to sleep on Friday night. Yeah. Well, Samantha, usually my job usually helps me regulate that. That's unfortunate, because when you don't have a job, then you lose that thing that regulates it, right? So, yeah, I know what you're saying. My sleep schedule should not be dependent on my job. Yeah, Samantha, I think it actually has something to do with circadian rhythms. Like, because technically I will still get my 8 hours. It's just not an appropriate 8 hours, right? Yeah, well, that's my biggest one is, it's not, I don't know what it's not, I guess they say it's FOMO. There's a term for people who like to stay up late and work on things. Because that's 9 times out of 10 of the reason I'm up late. It's not because I'm just screwing around, right? I've kind of always made a deal with myself that I can put off sleep as long as I'm working on something. But if I'm just sitting here screwing around playing video games, that's not a reason for me to be awake, right? But if I'm working on something, whether it's art or something like that, sometimes it can just be me. If there's a creative endeavor, I kind of give myself that room to explore it wherever it takes me. But that's not always the best way to approach it, right? Because it's, like I said, it's going to cost you it's going to cost your health is probably a better way to do it. Whether it's mental health or your actual physical health, which, your mental health is dependent on. I'm a believer nowadays of building habits versus, being super motivated to do something. I just find motivation is not the strongest. Motivation doesn't have the longevity that I hoped it would. Because you can watch a great movie and suddenly be motivated, or play an awesome video game and then suddenly be motivated, but that motivation doesn't last. Right? That fire is difficult to keep burning if it's not being constantly fed. So you need to. I've been trying my best to find ways to stay. I guess motivated is not the right word, but stay in the groove without needing an external source of motivation, right? And for me, that became a thing of habit building. Is just sitting down and doing the work, right? And you just sit, you do every single day, right? And you build the habit of doing it every single day. And probably could have used that attitude for my homework when I was a teenager, or when I was a kid, when I was younger. Funny thing was, I would always screw off from homework and just end up drawing or something like that, right? So yes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think partly because the world is very quiet at night. There's no distractions, so your flow is not going to get disrupted. And I think that's what made working late into the evening so enticing for me. Thanks for stopping by, Amanda, or Samantha. I don't know why I just called you Amanda. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of somebody named Amanda at that. Thank you so much for stopping by, Samantha. I really appreciate your support. I was hoping that you guys would be able to make it on the weekend, so thank you so much. Have a great night. See you next weekend, dude. No. You will not. You are Samantha. That was my mistake. It was a brain fart because I was thinking of somebody named Amanda at that moment. Have a great night, Amanda. I did it again. Have a great night, Samantha. Go before I make the mistake again. No, don't. Samantha, have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by today. I appreciate it. Oh, Float, I forgot to follow up. So what did you end up printing that? I think it was what a sky blue knife? Is that what you printed with your screw? You were messing with? Did you set up your printer and print that out? No blue filament. But you had some gray filament. Well, it probably looks a little bit more realistic if it's gray. Did you print it? Did it look good? Nice, dude. What's your next project? What are you gonna print next? You don't know, huh? TPU. What's TPU? Is that like that flexi kind of meshy, like flexible filament? Nice. Maybe you can make your own shoe brand. Maybe she's pulled up the stream on her phone to fall asleep to. I do that sometimes. All right, it's not bad. No problem, Fluid. Thanks for stopping by today, dude. I appreciate the support. Cheers, brother. See you when you get back. Too much. Okay, I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back. Well, No, 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 no. This is I'm just masking out right now, just so I don't end up sculpting on it by accident. Yes, I believe it's some sort of lo-fi mix of some sort. I don't know. It's from Epidemic Sound. Yes, and it's the lo-fi playlist. like it too. I didn't want any music that was going to be too active. I want something that's kind of sits in the background, right? So. Sounds good, Fluid. Thanks for the info. Big Tunes. Hey, dude, how's it going? I didn't hear the notification. How you doing today, yeah? How you doing today? Hey, Fluid, welcome back, bud. I think McTunes has come and gone. Yes, I have moved along quite nicely here. So there you go. Get your elbows now hooked up. They're in there. They're doing their elbow thing. I think I need to make some adjustments, but otherwise, elbows are in. Forearms kind of working. Okay. Not bad for a Sunday. I think I'm gonna call that a stream. Didn't get as far as I wanted to, but not bad. Maybe we'll pick it up next weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna call that a stream. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Appreciate your support. Keep an eye out for the YouTube channel. I'll be posting some videos hopefully by next weekend. Okay, end of stream. Thank you so much for popping by, guys. Cheers. Have a great one.